Hi there, Motor Rider World fans, and unfortunately our expedition has come to an end on Husqvarna's brand new Norden 901 expedition. And what a way to celebrate an anniversary for Husqvarna. It is, in fact, their 120-year anniversary. Can you believe it? One of the oldest motorcycle manufacturers in the world, first releasing one of their motorbikes off the production line, their first motorbike off the production line in 1903, and that was in March as well. So what a fitting way for Husqvarna South Africa to host the launch of the brand new Husqvarna Norden 901 then in March. So the bike itself, Husqvarna had released the bike just over a year and a half ago, the original Norden 901, which is still available today. You can still purchase that today, and they sold over 4,500 units of that, so it just shows its popularity. And but there were requests. Husqvarna needed something more, and they have released the Husqvarna 901 Norden Expedition in hopes of getting that little bit something more out to the consumers that the consumers have been asking for. And I think that they've hit the nail on the head with this motorbike. You've got extra suspension travel, so 20 mils on the front, 20 mils on the rear. It's a heavier duty WP Explore suspension front and rear. It's also got a bigger reservoir on the rear, so for extra cooling, so to optimize that suspension performance. They've given it a taller windshield from the accessory catalog now as standard on the motorcycle, as well as heated grips as standard on this motorcycle as well. Now all built into the clock and into the electronics of the motorbike. So you've got no switch to turn it on. Everything is done via your control panel, and obviously you can select it through your dash. And the same with the heated seat for the rider. So now heated seat for the rider as standard, and unfortunately not for the passenger, but the passenger does get a very, very comfortable Ergo seat. In addition to that, they've also added a 4mm thick aluminium skid plate, which we have come to call the pothole plate on this trip, because that's effectively what it is there for. I mean, the potholes are horrendous out here in Hazyview, both on the dirt roads and on the tar, so that just gives you that extra little bit of protection there. In addition, they've also added the panniers as standard, so you've got your soft luggage option, so the nice little soft saddlebags with your hard mounted luggage racks as well, and they work like a treat, and it is standard. So the bike itself now comes standard for an expedition, and Husqvarna's goal with this motorcycle was for you to go into the dealer, buy the motorbike, hop on it, and you can pretty much travel the world on the bike as you ride it out of the showroom. There's nothing to add to the motorbike, and that's very important, because I don't know about you, but when I go buy a motorbike, the last thing I want to do is add this, add that. I want to be able to pick it up from the showroom and basically go on an expedition. And that's what Husqvarna has done with this brand new Norden. The bike itself, the changes are subtle. So the changes are subtle, but very, very important. Just the color change itself makes the bike look like a completely different motorbike. It doesn't look like the older Norden 901 or the Norden 901. It looks different. It looks like they've changed body panels and the shape and aerodynamics, but they haven't. It is exactly the same motorbike, and the same goes for the engine and the frame. The bike itself is a lot more sure-footed. It handles a lot more confidently. And I don't know if that's obviously to do with the suspension, which I think it is. But even on the road, I mean, you'd think that extra 20 mils of travel front and rear would hamper the motorbike, but it doesn't. It actually brings it up to another level altogether. And the bike, you don't need more suspension travel than this. I mean, we never tweaked the suspension at all, and even riding the trails that we did, which was like some hectic single track, fast flowing dirt roads with those potholes in it as well, forest sections, everything like that, rocky sections, river crossings. The bike never bottomed out once, and that is a rare thing to have on a standard adventure bike. So yeah, really, really impressed with the changes that they've made to the Husqvarna Norden 901. We were blessed enough, as you can see behind me, the scenery absolutely fantastic. We had amazing riding out here in Hazyview. There's nothing better than riding basically, through the best roads in the world, and that's what we did. We rode on the 22, put the bike through its paces on the road, on the dirt as well. And for me, the bike just has a different aura about it, a different character, a more aggressive character. It's a completely different character to the Norden 901. And you know, the power stayed the same, everything like that stayed the same. So 100 horsepower, 105 newton meters of torque, but it feels completely different. It feels more aggressive, low down, the power, the punch, you know, the charisma, even the quick shifter. On the Norden 901, it's sort of, you have to get that sweet spot when you change up for it to pop. But the Expedition pops, you know, at any RPM through any gear. So it's just got that extra flavor about it, you know, that I think Husqvarna, obviously it's easy to say now, but this is a bike they should have launched initially over a year ago. And but everyone's got to start somewhere, and it's easy to say now, yeah, they should have. But it's an extension of the Norden 901, which was already a fantastic motorbike. But what Husqvarna have done is just taken this brand new Expedition 901 to another level completely. The Expedition is a very sure-fitted motorcycle. It is confidence-inspiring, both out on the trails and out on the road, no matter what your riding experience. The Expedition offers great value for money, bang for buck if you will, and is now fitted as standard with a whole host of extras which you would normally have to pay for if you wanted them fitted onto the normal Norden 901. These consist of the touring windshield, the center stand, the side soft panniers with mounting brackets, the heated grips, the heated rider seat, the HCU unit, the GPS bracket tower, the skid plate, Bluetooth connectivity unit, the Explorer Pack software, and the Ergo passenger seat. These extras alone total just over 43,500 Rand, but are now fitted as standard to the Expedition. This doesn't even take into account the WP X-Sport suspension. Can you really put a value on that? The Bluetooth connectivity unit is now stock standard and has a retail value of just over 2,500 Rand. This was available to retrofit to the normal Norden 901, but is now stock standard. Fog lights generally aren't standard on motorcycles, especially adventure motorbikes. But on the Norden 901 and 901 Expedition, they come as standard. This is another saving for your pocket. The Explorer mode is also now standard, which is effectively a blank canvas for you to preset your own preferences. This consists of throttle response, ABS, traction control, where you have 9 slip settings available to you, to name a few. I did play with the riding modes, although I found it best to leave the bike in Explorer mode with the traction control set off, the ABS disengaged on the rear, and with the most aggressive throttle response. As you can see, we put the 901 Expedition through its paces, giving it a proper thrash on the 22. To say the Expedition exceeded our expectations is an understatement. We were truly and mightily impressed with the Norden 901 Expedition and all of its standard features. But most of all, the suspension. The suspension is where the Expedition really shines. The best part about the Expedition though, most definitely the price. Priced at a very competitive 279,699 Rand, which is 17,000 Rand cheaper than the Norden 901. You cannot really go wrong. Jam-packed with key standard features and necessities, the Norden 901 Expedition truly is ready for an expedition.